Sure
Yeah.
enough, it blew up before
Well, I
we went
just
to
think
year.
I'm
Dr. Leather.
just gonna get for others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
think that's our.
Yeah, and I just don't know who to take it from. Wait, no.
Or my grandfather.
Vote on 6.
Good. Marty, how are you?
Good.
Yep.
You got your new boss in place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
making it work already?
This big man cracking the whip, or is he trying to figure,
Yeah.
is he drinking through a water hose right now?
I think he's trying to figure it out.
Boy, I bet he is.
Well, and they got him running all over, like, there in the beginning, he had to go to Jeff City and Columbia and Branson and all that, all these big
I
meetings, you
bet,
know?
I bet they got him running.
But we haven't seen him that much.
Did he ever work summers for ODOT?
What's that?
Did he work summers for ODOT?
I don't know.
I can't remember. His brother did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Darren, I worked with Darren, but I couldn't remember. For some reason-
I don't know.
He was there for a year or two from ODOT in Southwest District.
I don't think so.
Okay, I had lunch with him 2 weeks ago.
He worked in Springfield?
Yeah, in his first year of his career, right out of college.
I thought he went straight down to New Matter.
Yeah.
He took, what was the man's name?
He was at the H-Pun meeting.
Did he mention that at the expo meeting?
He was working out in Southwest District and around Springfield.
Well, I didn't.
I have
remember
totally
that at
missed
all.
that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, that, I don't know, for some reason makes me feel a little better, because I hate to bring somebody in right off the street who never had a day's
That's what I was saying, drinking with fire.
internal,
Yeah.
you know, knowledge,
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Donnie's a good one, but that's a lot. Yeah, I sure. Over there.
Yeah, about 32 years ago, I think.
Yeah, well, it would have been a long time ago.
It would have been right before the 30 years he just spent for New Metric.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, because I didn't even remember him doing it, yeah. That's crazy. 2 down. That's interesting. His brother works summers, I think, and maybe Donnie did too, but I can't remember. I know Darren did.
I just drove some of the roads around Springfield over the weekend. They were curvy,
Oh, man.
high speed too.
Pretty country over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was living in Springfield whenever I got hired at MoDOT. I had to transfer to Jeff City.
Brutal.
I've been sorry ever since. I did try to transfer back out there, but back in the old District 7, back when it was.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't work out, so.
Yeah.
Probably carried. Right.
The guy who introduced me to.
Mhm. Could be somebody else. Guess we'll find out.
Who wants to go ahead and get started? Agenda item 8.
We're waiting to have a forum, so we're gonna start the meeting. We may come back to some items. Let's start with introductions. Start with Joe, go clockwise.
Joe Killian, MoDOT.
Melissa Rose, MoDOT.
Corbin Carlton, MoDOT.
Mark Phillips, Cape Special.
Alex Roy, SEMPO staff.
Ryan Schrumplin, City of Cape Girardeau.
Joseph Stewart, City of Cape Girardeau Airport. Jake Garrett, City of Cape. Chad Burner, Single Ray.
It's Collier KLG.
And online, we have Tom Caldwell, Jenny Smith, and Simo Goupil. Not sure I'm familiar with your name. You provide us with your name?
Yeah, Jared Brown with Buddha Regional.
Eric, welcome.
Thank you for that. Okay, we'll pass on adopting the agenda in the minutes, item of communications. Any public comments? Right now on the agenda. And then we'll move on. We're gonna skip the first item, come back to it. It takes us to the Metropolitan Transportation Plan update.
Okay, so we have an RFP that went out. Oh, no, I'm sorry, this is the MTP. MTP, I just got our consultant project update. It wasn't in your electronic packet, but you have the printout version. They're still working on task item 4, which is the 2050 transportation systems needs assessment and potential project list update. They did indicate to me this morning that they'll have some documents for us to review within the next few days, so I'll send that out when I get them. But biggest thing is right now we're scheduling our next public engagement with open houses on October 29th at the Osage Center from 4 to 6 p.m. and October 30th, the following day at the Jackson Civic Center, 4 to 6. And you have a flyer here advertising the open house. Nothing major new other than upcoming open houses and soon to be received draft documents.
Yeah, so we're doing kind of the same format as last time. One day in Cape and one in Jackson, 4 to 6.
It seems to work out pretty well, and that 4 to 6 slot seems to work out pretty well for us too, as far as maximizing the total number of people we are able to track.
Okay,
Thank you, Sherman.
no problem. I think we've got a quorum now.
Yep.
So once we get seated, we'll go ahead and adopt the agenda and approve the minutes and then get to the exciting. I have a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's adopted. Okay, and then approval of the minutes of the September 3rd meeting. Motion,
So moved.
second,
Second, please.
favor? Okay. Okay, now we'll jump down to the MoDOT and IDOT 2025 safety performance targets.
Yeah, so MPOs are required to approve safety targets by the end of February 2026. MoDOT has established their respective safety targets based on 0 by 2030 fatality reduction, 0 by 2040 serious injury reduction. It accounts for 1% vehicle miles traveled increase and non-motorized reduction based on overall fatality and serious injury reduction. You have a 1-page handout, front and back. Front page has MoDOT safety performance targets. IDOT also established their safety targets, provided those to us. They were based on their development of annual targets for 3 consecutive years as part of their latest 2024-2026 triennial highway safety plan. That's the methodology behind their safety targets as well. And you can see their targets established on the back of the 1-page handout. Both states show their 5-year average and then their 2026 targets.
Just for those of you that aren't familiar with the performance targets, we as an NPO have the option to support the state targets for the 2 states, or we could establish our own. Generally, we've not established our own because that would just require a lot of data work that really probably is not necessary, given that MoDOT and IDOT do have the staff and resources, and they're able to presumably come up with some reasonable targets. So usually we've gone ahead and supported both the state targets, and so that's reflected in the resolution that would go to the board at their meetings. So do I have? a
Ryan?
motion? Yes.
Yeah, Tom Caldwell. Just for folks unfamiliar, most of the MPOs in Illinois, majority of them will adopt the IDOT targets, which are 2% reduction. There are those that in the past have set their own more aggressive, and they found that they've come back to adopting the IDOT ones. That it's just a real challenge. So majority of folks do adopt the department's targets.
Thank you. Any questions, comments on the performance targets? If not, do I have a motion to recommend that the board adopt the MoDOT and IDOT safety performance targets?
I'll make that motion, Rodney.
Second,
Second. Vince.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Okay, for those of you that just arrived, we already got the update on the metropolitan transportation plan. So we'll move on to transit system planning.
You actually have two RFPs that both have very similar looking cover pages. The first one is for the transit planning study. We issued an RFP back in September. It was issued on September 16th. We are asking for proposals to be turned in by October 15th, which allows 4 weeks for firms to respond to the solicitation. The purpose of the study is to evaluate the feasibility of extending fixed route transit service to priority employment areas not currently served by Gerardo County. That is Natural Corridor and the city of Jackson, both being regional employment centers. Within the RFP, we identified 7 tasks to be completed by the consultant. Task 1, project initiation and coordination and data collection analysis, and a market analysis and ridership forecasting, then service alternatives development, and financial and operational analysis, public engagement, stakeholder engagement, and then the draft and final reports. We directly solicited over 20 local and regional firms by email with a copy of the RFP. But we also posted on SEMPO's website, SEMPO, which is the Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations website, and the APA, which is American Planning Association's website. I have been already contacted by a number of firms interested in the solicitation and asked follow-up questions. There is currently interest in it, so that's positive.
Questions about the transit system planning RFP? Multimodal freight.
This RFQ, the multimodal, went out on September 17th, so the day after the transit study went out. Proposals are due Friday, October 24th, and we posted them on similar outlets with info, APA, SEMPO website, and then direct solicitations to local and regional firms.
Questions on that? Just one.
Did an RFP for the previous and an RFQ for this one. What's the difference?
Very little.
Okay.
SEMO RPC is handling the multimodal freight, so they drafted the RFQ for that one. Jeremy actually asked me, he said, since you did RFP for the transit, you wanted me to change this to RFP, and I said, no, I RFQ, it's fine. We vocalized what our budget is in the RFQ. So we asked them kindly not to issue proposals above and beyond that. Like they're line item on them saying, for an additional amount, you could have X, Y, Z.
Okay.
So that's.
Yeah, I would think, well. Okay, anything else on the multimodal freight plan?
This maybe in here, this expectation of when it would be completed, like if we set a date for completion.
Typically, it's within our planning year. If they can't, by that, we can work with them, because neither study is time sensitive.
Station improvement plan update.
We have a task order with SEMO RPC to conduct our tip update. As a reminder, we're transitioning to an every 2-year update. And in response from a recommendation by MoDOT that we transition from every 4 years to every 2 years to align better with their planning schedule. So Drew, I don't know if you guys have anything new on that one.
Kind of going through the previous plan and updating the boilerplate language right now. But I'll begin reaching out to different entities to get their financial information. Coming up on that, and also working on existing projects that are already in the tip, bringing them. The initial steps right now, and then getting into specific information and entity specific sections.
Anything else on the tip update? Move on to member reports, city captain update.
Work is ongoing on South Spring Street, water main and street reconstruction, and south and north. Lexington, within probably as early as next week, they'll swap from that westbound lane to the eastbound lane. Traffic control plan is still to be determined on that one, but it should be in place to approve. Big changes there. Work is running pretty smooth still. Maintenance projects, the concrete street repair 2025. Floppy should be back into town in the next few weeks to work on Bemis. They'll have Jan Drive in Minnesota, South Minnesota, from Southern Expressway to Rust, that area, to complete the 25 overlay. They have completed the original contract, but we have added some since we were under budget. The next few weeks, they should be back into town to continue working roadways. Perryville Road paving is complete. It should open as early as the end of this week. So we'll have Perryville Road there. Our TAP projects, our grant projects, TAP, the Cape Rock Drive sidewalks, acquisitions are underway, and on our Cape Road Trail, Effect Paving was awarded that contract. Paperwork in, ready to construct. What will trail construction? That is a project from Newville Road to Shawnee Park. Trying to make it match the piece we have already done. Just south of Brick Street, but damage on hills. We heard all that. Resurface it, lining it. There, we relocate a piece of that trail right at Shawnee Park. The creek. We need to do some bank stabilization down there. So we're out the trail.
Right, we're moving that bench to the embankment.
To the wild up there.
Public bench is about to fall down into the creek. Got it.
So we'll
Got it
take
roped
the,
off.
yeah, we'll save the bench and then we'll scoop the trail away, so we've got more time to work on that bank.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. That project, East Main Street sidewalk project, contractors lobby cement finishing. Construction is progressing smoothly and is on track for completion by the end of November. That is between Shawnee and Bellevue Street. Deerwood Drive roundabout is a cost share with MoDOT. Low bidder is Barter Concreters, just over $1 million. Bids were open on August 28th. We will award the contract next Monday night, October 6th. Middle school crosswalk and sidewalk project is a TAP. Smith Company's engineers that completed preliminary design review and might have already submitted plans to MoDOT, I'm not sure, to try and gain approval to proceed with the PS&E. A water line upgrade project that does impact the transportation in Jackson has moved now to East Jackson Boulevard. That's between Shawnee and Aldi. We have Nick Kelly equipment working there through the end of the year, maybe into January, but it is underway, progressing on schedule. That's a replacement of the water main and upgrading. East Jackson Boulevard roadway lighting project is a cost share with MoDOT. Strickland's our engineers, plan specs, the documents are nearly complete, and we asked the Lockmuller Group, who's a consulting engineer, to prepare and submit the Section 106 Cultural Resources Survey memo to MoDOT. I believe that was submitted about this time last week, so we're waiting to hear back on that. Hubble Creek Recreation Trail Phase 3A TAP grant. This project was awarded to Jackson on September 15th. This is between the high school and the soccer park. It includes an underpass under West Jackson Boulevard and then extends south to along the creek to the soccer park. We're just awaiting the program agreement from MoDOT to take it from there and board sometime this month. Maintenance, our concrete street repair program also has lobby cement finishing. I don't think they've started yet. Should be in the beginning this month. Asphalt street improvement program. We did award that to Apex Paving Company. It was just approved at the last meeting, so we'll work on that. We'll also start this month. And last but not least, maybe 90 degrees out, but our crews are doing winter weather training this week. We are installing plows and salt spreaders on trucks, doing dry runs, and reviewing the designated snow runs. Thank you.
Okay, you have an update for the county?
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. This meeting snuck up on me a little bit. I did not have a chance to reach out. That's where I have not.
Mark, the special road district?
Yeah, we're in the middle of our County Road 635 bridge project at Penzel. We should be setting beams on that bridge about the 14th of October, I believe. And I would anticipate we'll have it open probably within a week to 2 weeks after that, I would guess, depending on asphalt work to be done. Definitely by the end of the month, I anticipate opening. Other than that, we're just routine maintenance. Thanks.
If you're in the authority, Jenny? She has a leave. It takes us to the airport. Jojo.
Taxpayer construction is winding down, they're expected to be done in 2 weeks. A little bit of painting to do on both of the center and both on ice, so we're working that in. Getting a lot of our ice material next week. Schedule will also start training. in its contract. Was an American. It was taught to work destination. December 1st, flying to Dallas, Fort Worth, along with Chicago. Starting on April 1st. Trips.
Joe, if you don't mind, so that we can advocate for you, give us your best elevator speech on why that is a good decision for Cape Girardeau.
Obviously, the city and everyone wanted to go with the better. Americans bid just in the climate we're in was just too high. It was $3 million more than what the lowest bid was. And really the next best thing in my estimation was Contour, and that's because they were willing to start the Pensacola, the Florida flights, and they were going to, like American, they were the only other one that bid to go to Dallas Fort Worth. The other airline that was in the running was going to go to Houston, Chicago, but the way the DOT actually had been giving out their contracts, if they had gone with the lowest bid through that airline, it would have been just stay with strictly Chicago. So we were kind of worried about that. We really wanted to do the destinations and the surveys that we had done, Chamber of Commerce. People really wanted the Dallas and in the mix. So, we really didn't have any control of it. I mean, it's DOT's final decision. Since they kind of got burned on the previous two air contract assignments to other locations, it's because they did go with low bid. They kind of regressed a little bit. And I think that's how they're able to get contract. They got burned pretty bad in Parkersburg, and actually, Paducah wanted to have Houston and Chicago, and DOT gave them straight Chicago. So I didn't know what way they were going to go with us. So we were kind of fortunate in that aspect that we'll get two destinations. And the third, that Contour is going to be one run guy start. So that's not.
So all things considered, there's nobody been closer to this than you, living it, eating it, breathing it. You feel we ended up in a good place?
Yes, I did. I know there's always going to be, no matter what we think. Right.
Your hands are tied.
Right. I mean, our hands are tied. People think that we're the ones that
Right.
have the final say, and that's not the case. But I think we ended up in a good spot. I know there'll still be people complaining because they have had delays out of, the Contour, they would have had delays with, say, if it was a SkyWest.
Yeah.
The disadvantage we have being a small airport is that once one flight is delayed or for any amount of time, it definitely sets a domino effect because there's no other option. It's like you can go down, take a counter and say, hey, I can fly, I'm fine, I'll get this airline and fly out. So there's definitely some ramifications with that. And Chicago. Now Dallas is also a huge airport to deal with it as well, but they have different they don't have a lot of the weather stuff that Chicago gets. Both of them in their hand. It's a better set up airport to deal with the congestion of gate space, where Chicago sometimes you get delays because of that stuff. But all in all, worked out good, and actually I'm working with that right now, hoping this winter we'll have another announcement for a destination that we're working on. So much easier to work with than other airlines that maybe a little bigger.
Congratulations to you. That's a hard process, and it looks like you
Yeah,
demonstrated.
definitely get dragged on.
Yeah.
TPC Drew. I think we've already covered. Jared, Rudy, RPC, do you have any report today? Anything you want to discuss?
Sure. Well, as far as an organization standpoint, we just finished our CDBG cycle. We had a pretty successful cycle this year. We completed, I think, 15 applications, roughly a neighborhood 14 or 15. We've got some ongoing CDEP planning and all types of different programs like that going on within the organization. From transportation, as a transportation point of view, we have started our multimodal TAC, which is going to be a separate TAC. We chose that option offered by MoDOT, and we have that committee set up. We've had a meeting, and we're getting ready to have another meeting. So that we're hoping that will really help increase the multimodal opportunities within our 6-county region. We are also, we've finished a cycle with, excuse me, our active transportation program. This is the first year that we have been involved in that program. We were working with the city of Hayti Heights. That plan has been completed. We now move on to the implementation phase of that plan. We have selected and will be starting work with Campbell, Missouri. It's going to be our next town that we produce an active transportation plan for. We're looking forward to getting started on that as early as November. I believe we have our first meeting on that. We are still waiting to get our contract back from the federal government regarding our Safe Roads and Streets for All grant that we were awarded over a year ago. We still have not gotten that contract in, but we're anxious to get to work on that. We think that's going to be a much needed tool here in our 6-county region to help hopefully lower highway deaths and make our roads a little bit safer and pinpointing some of the hot spots within our region. So that's about it. And it's been nice joining you this
morning. We're ready, Shad.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things. We, on the Ozark Parkway project, I do believe that Representative Boss is going to seek some funding in the legislature this year to do the study. That said, it's going to be really hard to get money in the legislature this year. The capital gains tax going away is going to hit by about $250 million reduction in the state budget. That's the projection. So it may be really hard to get funds, but we're going to seek it. And then there's also some things happening with the Transamerica corridor. That board is being revitalized. I think there's some good folks on it now. Robert Cisneros, who was the former plant manager at P&G, who now works for the Patchco Roads Group as a chief operating officer, decided to stay in our community. It's a big win that he didn't want to get transferred out of Cape Girardeau, but he's on that board. He brings a lot of experience from the P&G side and the logistics part to professionalize some of the things they've been trying to do. So there's some activity there with some legislators as well. So more to come on that front. That's all I have.
Who wants to start from MoDOT?
I'll start. We've got 4 project updates within the MPO region. Bloomfield Road, I-55, they're still planned to connect that to a STIP project in early 2026. Drainage project on Route 61 Kings Highway should finish ditch digging and rock placement by the 3rd week of October. Through Jackson, the Route 72 Millfill overlay, the contractor has finished concrete work at 72-61-25 and will continue with asphalt work the 3rd week of October. And lastly is the Emerson Bridge rehabilitation. This will still go for an additional construction season into 2026. Tentatively, we are planning to switch traffic around November 1st. That's very tentative. We're doing work currently on the joints along the westbound lane. We're doing work at the joint at the Midspan Illinois Tower at the end of the cable stay. And there have been some laborious intensive hours spent on these joints that may push that November 1st back a little bit on the switching lane traffic. Melissa?
I only have one update. We had our monthly LPA meeting yesterday, And some people have been asking when the next BRO call is. They pushed it off to next spring. They don't have a exact date, so don't be looking for it anytime this year. Because it was last October was the last call, so in the spring. That's all I got.
So we had our high priority unfunded needs meeting the end of August. I think I mentioned this probably at the last meeting here, but we are anticipating that those needs will be submitted to our highway commission probably in November. We had yesterday was our deadline for the second part of our asset management plan. And this is where we go through and look at obviously our pavements and bridges, but we also consider things that you may not necessarily think about, but standalone safety jobs, mobility projects, and ADA projects. Keeping in mind that 2027, we're up against the deadline for making sure that everything is compliant with ADA standards. So we've been, working on that throughout the years and getting close to that being completed. And then we are getting ready to start our next STIP cycle for the 27 through 31 STIP. So we will be starting estimates probably in the next few weeks to some preliminary estimates and getting those going, figuring out exactly what products we want to put in and getting better estimates on those so we can program those. And I think that is it.
I'm sorry.
It's your turn.
Oh, okay. I have some good news. I'm told we owe you some money, but we need an invoice. So, Alex, if you could please get an invoice for actually last fiscal year. And that's the 25T0002 obligation number contract. If you could get that to us, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'll get with that.
Okay, thanks. That's it.
Thank you, Tom. Doesn't look like we have any FHWA or FTA folks on, so move on to the staff report.
I don't have anything additional except for folks that may have came in late. We're hosting 2 open houses this month, one on October 29th at the City Center from 4 to 6, and one at Jackson Civic Center the following day, October 30th from 4 to 6 for our Metropolitan Transportation Plan.
Good question. More of a question. I've noticed like at Kings Highway and Lexington here, the side in the concrete areas, there's a lot of growth that's happening. Who's responsible? Is that a MoDOT thing? Is that a city thing? Or is there a plan of action on that? Lexington, or a lot of it too. So
Kings Highway is MoDOT road.
Kings Highway is MoDOT. Is there a way to kind of report that stuff or note it or?
Send it to me.
Just send it to you if you see something, if I see something that's on MoDOT.
Yeah.
And you get it if it's city, you get it if it's city, I tell you.
So Public Works handles maintenance.
Public Works, okay.
So Public Works is usually better, PIO, we can reach out to them. There are plenty of ways to contact the city. But Kings Highway 74 and Route K from Kings Highway West.
Okay.
So if you do send it to the city, we'll probably just pass it on.
I think I can route it in the right direction. I was just thinking through and I've noticed it a few times. It happens from time to time.
It's happened forever. It's frustrating. And I don't know whether the city doesn't reach out or that you treat that as a situation where unless somebody complains, you don't fix it, but those have always been problematic. I don't know if you guys have a plan of attack for that, or do you just address it when somebody reaches out to the growth, medians? How does that work?
The plant growth in the medium? Yeah, so we do have a spray cycle that we'll try to do moving forward. I've spoke with the maintenance staff over the Cape Girardeau shed. And they are changing the action plan moving forward for how to address medians and intersections in the Cape Girardeau area. That will be different from the issues that we've had this year.
Well, that sounds promising.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, I've talked to them, I've also talked to my supervisors, and they are directing from the top down a change in how things will be done around the NPO area.
It's great.
What else? Anything else? We have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.